Hey folks, what's up? Welcome to the 109th episode of Tone's Take. This is my second take because I still had one to wait up there before. And what I wanted to talk about in this episode was the deep state. Everyone's known about it, everyone hears about it, but do we really know exactly what it is? But of course, before I get into that, I wanted to talk about the country of Swaziland. Have you heard of it? Do you even know where it is? You probably don't. It's a landlocked country and the southern half of the continent of Africa. So it's probably just as elusive to most people as the country of Wakanda. And well, it's probably going to be more elusive because if you ask me where Swaziland is, from now on, I'm going to say it does not exist. Yes, Swaziland has shaken, it has broken the shackles of its once imperialistic name, and it is now known as Eswatini. And this is nothing new. Countries that were once under imperial rule from like other countries like Great Britain and all those other European countries that thought that they could colonize Africa and pillage it of its resources and rape all of its people and somehow think that it's all right. Well, 50 years later, most of these countries are all independent. Eswatini is celebrating its independence. The king, who is the last absolute monarch in Africa, his name is King Mswati III, has changed it back to its original name, like many of the countries, such as Zimbabwe, which used to be Rhodesia, Malawi, which used to be Nyasaland. All of these have returned back to their original names and are completely shedding what was once imperialistic identity. So I thought that that was pretty cool. But let's talk about deep state for a moment. Let's start with Donald Trump and Mr. Mueller. A lot of people have, over like the past several months, been just sitting on the edge of their seats, just waiting for Donald Trump to fire Mueller. And I don't know if it's that they don't want Mueller to be fired or Mueller, however you pronounce his name, I don't care. If it's that they don't want Mueller to be fired as much as they just want something to go and protest about. I've seen on Reddit many times that there have been these sign-ups where, hey, if Trump fires Mueller, we're going to get out there and we're going to protest in every street. Just today, the police chief in Pittsburgh, I believe it was, put out a memo to all of the officers saying to get ready in case this happens. And it's kind of disturbing. It's kind of worrying because people are really thinking about doing this, and who knows? But just today it was announced that hey, our good friend from New York, the mayor of New York, former mayor of New York, Mr. Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani, is now joining Trump's team. And apparently he's joining Trump's team. He's joining Trump's legal team to help bring the Mueller probe to a conclusion. And what type of conclusion that is, I don't know, but apparently it's supposed to be some sort of amicable conclusion. I'm reading here from this CNN article. I've also got a Fox News article, but from CNN it says Giuliani told CNN his focus will be on interfacing with Special Counsel Robert Mueller and his Russia probe and to help bring everything to a conclusion, saying it needs a little push. And pretty much Fox News echoed the same thing. Giuliani has been close friends with Trump for years and was reportedly under consideration for a couple of cabinet posts, from Secretary of State to I believe the Attorney General, and he didn't want either of those. And so now he's finally getting pulled into the fray, being dragged into the swamp cleaning service, or the swamp, depending on which party you side with, to hopefully bring this Mueller probe to an end. And maybe this is the last straw. Maybe if Giuliani's not able to bring this to an end, then this maybe he will fire Mueller outright and call it a day. Who knows what Trump will do? But I really wanted to focus on what the heck the deep state is. I've heard it, I've seen it, and this one article from this website called The Trumpet, and I can only imagine what sort of things get written here. But it's basically titled, What You Need to Know About the Deep State. A serious conflict between President Trump and the intelligence agents who work for him threatens to undermine our constitutional republic. And it's a pretty, I really don't know what to make of this article. It says that Trump is at war with his own employees. President has publicly criticized and fired top officials, which yes, he does. And then it says, a deep state is defined by a body of people, typically influential members of government government agencies or military believed to be involved in the secret manipulation or control of government policy, according to the Oxford English Dictionary. The term originated in the 1990s in Turkey to describe a powerful, unelected government consisting of bureaucrats, intelligence agents, and military officers. And that is just the exact opposite of what the U.S. has. Many people think that, you've got your Hillary Clintons, you've got Loretta Lynch's, you've got Jim Comey, you've got all these people that are working in the deep state, and so far we've been successful in keeping them out of power. But let me tell you something real quick. The moment Trump got elected, the moment you all chose for Trump to be elected the 45th president of the United States, he was inherently grafted in to the deep state, because the deep state is influential members of government agencies and military. They are involved in secret manipulation and control of government policy. Look, these folks do backdoor deals all the time. The fact that Donald Trump sent his CIA director, Mike Pompeo, to North Korea without any of us knowing it, that's like a deep state type of thing. So what exactly are people talking about where there's this deep state? Look, he has folks in his intelligence agency that are working and doing things that are trying to bring peace between two countries like North and South Korea, and then peace between North Korea and the United States of America. So I'm not sure exactly why people are going off on this and about this deep state. One thing that really made me laugh is this article. It says, in the United States Constitution, the country's founders made the president responsible and accountable for the execution of the laws. But we should also remember that this was way back in the 1700s, the 18th century, when the United States was just formed, and they needed a military commander to fight against the Brits, who were trying to push their power and oppress this newfound 13 colonies, which wasn't even really their land to begin with. It belonged to Native Americans, but I won't even get into that at this point. So they needed a military commander because they were under direct threat, not only from the Brits, but from what the French could do and from what the Spanish could do. It was a different time. Early presidents were assisted by a limited number of officials whom they nominated and appointed, which still happens today. Of course, now they have to go through Senate confirmation hearings and things like that. Over the past 200 years, the federal government has usurped authority, and rightfully so, because we are a democratic republic. That means that people should be in power to decide who is running their government. And so if I elect a representative to go to the House of Representatives, and if I elect a senator, they should be able to speak for me and confirm the people that the president is called checks and balances. So if there is a deep state, it is a deep state of checks and balances. We have the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and the executive branch, and they all work together so that no one end can have more power than the other end. So I really think people just need to chill out with all this talk about the deep state. But let me know what you think, because obviously people think that over the past 200 years we've lost our way, and that now all of a sudden, we have this deep state going on. But if there is a deep state, it started way back in the 18th century. It started with the Constitution being written. It started with the Declaration of Independence being signed. That's when the deep state really started. And I also find this funny. President George Washington was assisted by 1,009 military employees. The executive branch of government is now almost 3,000 times its original size. Well, yeah, because the United States ballooned from 3 million people in population back then to 300 million in population. So of course you need more people to help govern more people. This article just doesn't make any sense to me. And the people that argue that, there's this deep state running my life and all the things that I love, come on, folks, get it together. And to the people on the liberal side that want to protest if Mueller gets fired, get it together as well. Look, folks, we got to learn to live with what we are given. And at this point, the real threats are these major companies that are trying to run our lives. Amazon Prime has like over 80,000 Prime subscribers, or 80 million, Prime subscribers. They say 100 million, but I truly don't believe that. We have to worry about companies now that are just buying up other companies, and they are just basically becoming monopolies in their own right, and nobody is stopping them. Those are the real threats right now, because they're the ones that have the money, that can exert control over what you buy, that can exert control over what you see, and that could easily overtake any government, if they so choose to join up with one of these military industrialized complexes like a Boeing or a Lockheed Martin, and just decide to say, hey, you know what, we have all the weapons, we make them, we have the know-how, this is what we're going to do. But I'm going to end it right there because I'm starting to go into my conspiracy theory tinfoil hat thing, and I don't want to do that. But let me know what you all think about the whole deep state. I am really interested, and I will see you all tomorrow. If you haven't noticed, I've changed my music to King's Dead because I just love the beat. So I will leave you all with that, and yeah, see you tomorrow. Peace out.